every Christian is a minister in the marketplace. Whether we are exposed through work or college or in the market or shop, if you take a Grab or a Grab car, we travel. Even if we are a hermit and people come to our house, we are already exposed to the marketplace. So every Christian is a minister in the marketplace. And by minister, it means you bring God's presence, you bring God's peace, you bring God's love with you. You are Christ's ambassador, whatever your age or experience. Now, if we live in a village, then almost everybody knows each other. And whether small or medium size, whether primitive or a modern village, generally everyone knows who is who. But not so in the city, where the gates and walls are barriers that keep everyone in their own shells or cocoons. Therefore, the only way to meet these people in the city, to know them and to befriend them, is when they come out of their shells and cocoon to the workplace. So if you walk into a village and everyone almost immediately will come to see a stranger and you will be greeted, welcome, often they will feed you and even house you, but not in a city where you can come and go in and out for years and nobody knows, or even nobody seems to care. And if you try knocking on the doors of the houses in a city, very few will let a stranger in, let alone talk to you. Therefore, the marketplace is important for most of us in the city and larger towns, because this city creature, which is you and I, will only come out in the daytime to work or nighttime, depending on our lifestyle. And that is where we can meet this marketplace person, the target of who we are going to meet. So the marketplace is where we meet these people in the city, whether at work, at resort, or when we travel or bump into each other. Now, as a believer, I think all of us know that truth, that we are the salt and the light, and we are the minister, and often we may be the only one there in the midst of the crowd. We are the only one there who represents Christ Jesus. Right there as the arrow points. Now, God has put us there, you and I, in our little corner in life, so we do not need to look left or right, and there's no one else but you who is there. So God is depending on you, because you bring his presence, you bring Christ to your place, to your neighbor, and to the city. And the only one with only qualification that you need at that time, whatever your age, whatever your position, is just a belief and faith in Jesus. So if we do not shine for Jesus at that situation, who is going to do it? Now, even if we are new or we are shy, we can still shine through our fruits, being quiet, but showing the peace, the love, the joy, goodness, kindness, gentleness, patience, long-suffering, and self-control, which means our character matters a lot, which is why St. Francis Assisi is quoted that share the gospel all the time, and if necessary, speak. But if we speak, then we should speak love and truth. And if we act, then we should act with love and compassion. For that reason, we are present as a minister, as a representative. And when that happens, over time, naturally, you will draw men and women to you. Because whatever it is in society, in wherever you go, the first time anyone watches you, they will be looking at you. They will be seeing you. They will be assessing you. But if they find something special about you, they will be drawn to you. They will come and seek your help. They'll come and seek your counsel. They'll come and seek your prayer, your friendship, your support, your ears, even just to tell their problems to you. And of course, they know that you can give back to them some words of comfort. They will trust you, and even the big boss may tell you the biggest problems that others in the company may not know about. The boss will come to you, and they will feel the difference with your presence the moment you join the company. That is provided you shine as a light for Christ and as a salt. Now, in that situation, whatever your position, with or without any theological degree, with or without any training, and even with the most, you may have just been a week old as a believer, you can be that little pastor when you hear their cries. You can be that little teacher when you speak the truth. You can be the little evangelist when you shine for Jesus. You can be that little prophet when you release a godly word. You can be a little apostle when you bring change to your office, neighborhood, or your own home. It's not about you having to be in the pulpit to preach a great message. No, it's that wherever you are, in whatever situation, you know that you are representing the Master, the Savior of the world, by what you do, by what you hear, by what you speak. You are representing it. So the world at the end may not know you, and you may not become famous, and you may not have any position or title, but you are still a minister for the Lord, and He knows. And that friend who has found you, who has been ministered by you, also knows it and appreciate it. And I've heard more than one testimony where someone comes and tells the housewife, you know, your God is a good God. Thank you for your prayer. And whenever they're down and they're sick and they say, can you pray for me? And when you show the seriousness of your prayer, and when they recover, they will say, thank you for praying for me. And they will know that you have made a difference. That is what I mean, that everyone out there who believes in Jesus Christ is a minister for Him. Now, this is the truth. You are in the marketplace. God has placed you wherever you are. Nobody else is there at the moment, at the instant, at the time, but you. And you make the difference. You may start small, you may start simple, but certainly you have an impact to the one next to you, your neighbor, you know. And I'm sure many a times you have heard people say, oh, my neighbor is a Christian. And you know, the kids are so well behaved. Or they say, oh, my neighbor is so understanding. You know, he'll even sweep the leaves from my side. I'll pick up my rubbish if it falls off. Things like that, you know. So we do not need to have a theological degree. We do not need, even though it helps. But you are there. Your friend needs help, love, and even your prayer now. You can't possibly run and find your pastor or your elder or one of the brothers whom you know to come and do what you need to do. But then and there, you may be the first person to comfort her for the loss of anything, you know. Who else is there but you? And your neighbor is your neighbor. It's not my neighbor, not the other person's neighbor. So you count as someone. I pray that today, after this little sharing, which will be on YouTube, that everyone will know, yes, you have a place. So sometimes everybody thought somebody would be there to help. And in the end, nobody did. Nobody did. Nobody found out, knew that something was going on with that guy in the office until he or she jumped off the building. Can we then say, here I am, Lord, use me? You know, it's a very powerful prayer. When you say, Lord, here I am, use me, I can give you 100% assurance that He will use you, you know. And even if you're not ready, He will prepare you. He will make you ready, and you will be used by Him. This I can say for sure. When you can come to the Lord, He hears everything you say. He knows everything about you. And you say, Lord, use me. He is already looking for you and saying, will you serve with me? And He's never going to leave you alone. when he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, that also applies to ministry, applies to when you represent him, when you are his ambassador. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will be with you. Even if you end up in trouble, even if you got a bad report against you, for being kind, for even saying a prayer, he will be with you. He will vindicate you. Our job, your job, my job is just to be a vessel from which someone comes and drink clear water from. And he, the hand holding the jar, is the one that pours that refreshing water. And through you, suddenly, all these verses will come. The words that you say are from the words of the heart of the Father through you. And they will have a great impact upon whoever you are ministering to. So all of us, what we ever need to do is just to be a vessel in the marketplace. When we say, Lord, use me. Here I am, Lord, use me. That's all he is seeking from you and I. And the job that you and I have to do is far, far easier than what our master has done. The hard work has been done by the Son of Man. And Psalm 22:14 says, I'm poured out like water. He has done the hard work. He said, it is finished. So it's for us to continue where he left off. And our little bit of effort is just to shine as salt and light, and if necessary, speak. So the part that you and I have is very, very little. So this is the beginning of a series which is to convince you that every Christian is a minister for the Most High God. And next week, in this series of testimonies, there will be a teacher who will just say, I'm just a teacher. But Brother Charles from Temerloh has planted dozens of churches among the Orang Asli in Pahang. One man, he doesn't have the resources, but he believes in his calling and he begins. And the first church, the small church, all are low budget, but it grows with time. So brothers and sisters, it's just a short sharing. I apologize for the glitch at the beginning, but I believe you are convinced, number one, that the marketplace is your first mission field. That is your Jerusalem, your Klang Valley, your Seremban, wherever you are. That is your mission field. And everyone is in the marketplace. Even one in full-time ministry as a minister, as a pastor, you are also in the marketplace to some extent, not all the time, but to some extent. And the title of this message is to convince that everyone is a minister of the Lord, not in the sense of a big-time minister, pastor, evangelist, no, but you minister to the people, for God uses you to minister. So I know I'm ending early. My purpose is not to speak for too long, but God bless you. And I'll end the YouTube and use this time for fellowship.